Heinz, how are you?
Was that an imitation? Goal.
Go! Yeah, sure was. I got that
World
soccer
Cup mania.
fever. World Cup, baby. Yeah. Have you been watching
So,
it at all, or are you not
um,
into it?
no, I have not watched any of it. No, sorry. I know it's on. That's pretty good, right? I know it's on.
Yeah, that's good. I've been trying to get one of our mutual friends involved and excited about the World Cup, but he just doesn't care about soccer. And he was like, "So I want to care, but I don't. Get me to care." And I said, "Well, you just have a dead soul if you don't like the World Cup. That's all I can tell you." And he's like, "Well, I guess I have a dead soul then." So,
Hey, I'm the same way. I want to be into it. I want to love it. Like, I didn't grow up around hockey, but now that is the only sport I really watch like consistently. And it's just awesome. I love it. I wish I'd have played it when I was a kid. Soccer, similar rules and all that type of thing. I just for some reason, I don't know. I can't get into it for some
I
reason,
get it.
Jake. I don't know.
I get it. You have to have just the right personality for it. And I for years and years I didn't like it. Like I thought it was super boring. But then I started playing a lot of FIFA soccer on my Xbox just because it's super fun video game. And I started learning more about the game, and I started paying attention to the real thing, and just opened a can of worms. So that's something that's been fun going on these last 4 or 5 weeks.
And I think the thing that I'm missing is, okay, there's this huge field, right? And then there's this huge goal or net, and there's this little ball. How is it so tough to get that little ball into that big net? I mean, it seems like in hockey, the rinks can be kind of like, a lot of people in a small area, but soccer just seems like it's so wide open. Why, Jake, is it so tough to score in soccer?
Because defense wins championships, baby.
That's football. That's football right there. Football and football. Yep.
Football. Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
Well, we're getting to the end of the year, and I think we need to take a look back and really think about what happened in the year 2022, I'm going to probably call it 2022 all the way through January of 2023. Yep. And just take a look back. Maybe that will help us so we don't, keep writing, things as, February 23rd, 2022, when it's actually 2023.
For sure. And it's kind of celebrating our first full calendar year of the What We Meant to Say podcast, even though we've been doing it for more than a year. I think it's good to go look back at the year 2022 and see what happened. Do some recap.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it. All right.
Cool. Let's hit that music. And here we go. We are back from the music, and today we are talking about a 2022 year in review. That kind of rhymed. That's kind of fun to say. How should we do this? Should we take it to just throw out a bunch of stuff, or should we do it month by month, or what are we doing?
Oh, we gotta go month by month, don't we? So we can't forget about June. We have to have something in June. So yeah, we have to do month by month.
Got to. All right. Well, kick it off. What happened in January 2022?
Well, one oddball item. I did turn 40, so we'll just throw that out. But a more important one, Jake, and I found this very fascinating because when I was a kid, I thought space was really cool, and I like to watch all the TV shows about space. Scientists in January 2022 figured out how star formation in our galaxy began. Now, I didn't read into it too much, but that is pretty fascinating that we're able to figure out like all these crazy things like how stars form in our galaxy. And we did it in 2022.
Isn't that nuts that there's people smart enough that can figure that out? I can barely tie my shoes, y'all. I can't even, my brain can't process that. When I think about outer space, my mind starts to explode because just the thought of how I can't even say the word. Infinite it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just,
And that's the
it
part
just goes
that
on
makes you
forever and ever.
think.
Oh.
Like the Big Bang or whatever it was, and just boom, the galaxy. I mean, what if we actually do figure out what happened and we can like prove it? How crazy would that be? Like,
Yeah.
getting to Mars will be no problem. Pluto, we got a shot at getting there. If we can figure out how the galaxy began, we can get there.
If someone offered you a free trip to outer space, would you take it?
Am I guaranteed to be able to come back?
There's no guarantees in anything, bud.
No, can't do it.
Yeah, me
Can't
neither.
do it.
I have no desire.
Nothing would be worse than being the guys on some of the movies. What was it, Apollo 13 and Armageddon, where they're like, you have a legitimate chance of dying in space. I'd probably freak out. I probably would have like busted out of the shuttle.
Yep. I don't like flying on an airplane. I would never go bungee jumping. I think the most I would do to simulate a gravity-free environment would be to go to one of those places where you stand on top of the big fan and it flies you up about 5 feet off the ground. I would maybe do that, but I'd still be scared.
What do you got? What do you got for a big event in February of 2022?
In February, just like the World Cup that happens every 4 years, we had the Olympics. And for the life of me, where were they? I don't remember.
They were in China.
In Beijing. Yeah, that's
Beijing.
Right.
Yeah, Beijing, the first city to host the Summer and Winter Olympics.
Ooh, yeah. Do you watch the Olympics?
I did watch the 2022 ones, the Winter Olympics. I couldn't remember a damn thing about them, though, just being honest.
Yeah, me too. That was, oh man, like I said, I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. I don't remember what happened 10 months ago. Do you have any favorite events in the Winter Olympics?
Yeah, I like the ski jumping. When they have that huge slope they have to come down. And then, I don't know, I think the skill in it is they just land. But I think there's more to it than that. Like they do flips and twists and all that kind of stuff. But I just think it's pretty cool that they try to go like a certain distance and do all that kind of stuff. That's pretty cool. And then the other one I like in the winter, speed skating. There's just something crazy about that two people are racing against each other on skates. I like it.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm kind of a glutton for semi-boring sports like soccer, because for some reason I kind of enjoy watching cross-country skiing. I don't get it. It's just a bunch of people, floating along the snow for miles upon miles or kilometers upon kilometers. Yep. And for some reason, it's just oddly satisfying to me.
And they're all on the same track too. Like they're all following the same track. Is it the biathlon where they do the cross-country skiing and they have to shoot?
Is that what it's called?
Biathlon.
I think so. Yeah. It'll be hard to you have to steady yourself and control your heart rate so you can hit these tiny targets. Oh man, I can't even hit the duck on Duck Hunt consistently without putting my the gun right up next to the screen. I don't know how I could do that. I wouldn't even be able to go 6 feet on cross country skis without biffing it onto the ice.
So the official take on the biathlon, the winter biathlon at the What We Meant to Say podcast is we don't even get to the skiing part. We're worried about just the shooting in general. The whole skiing part is scary to us, but just getting past the shooting would be really tough.
All right, let's move on to month number 3 of the year, March. What happened in March, Heinz?
I think the biggest story that happened in the month of March is the GOAT came out of retirement. I don't remember if he retired in March and then came out again in March, but the GOAT came out of retirement. And that GOAT is Jake?
Tom Brady.
Giselle's ex-husband.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Or Giselle, however you say it.
Yeah. Are you a Tom Brady fan?
I respect him for what he's done. I'm not really a fan of really any one player right now, but when you've won as many championships as he has and you've stayed at that level for as long, you got to respect it. I mean, you just have to.
Yeah. I mean, he's super good. He really is probably the greatest of all time. I just can't get past the fact that he's just a big baby.
Hey, he's a competitor though too. I mean,
he is.
But
he is.
Do you think this is his last year?
No. I think he'll come back next year.
You think he's got to win a Super Bowl before he leaves? I mean, he's gonna leave on a high note, so to speak.
Yeah, he's gonna play until he's 48 now. He's just ready to rip it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to rebuild his reputation in a few ways, personal and professional. So we wish him best of luck in 2023.
Yes.
Yeah. How about April, Jake? What do you got for April?
April, the slap heard round the world. Will Smith slaps Chris Rock at the Academy Awards. Now, I heard about it that night and I saw a replay, and my gut was, that is absolutely staged. It's absolutely staged. And I think you and I were texting that night, like, no way. This can't be real. And then it turns out that it was real. Like, holy crap. What is wrong with him?
A legitimate Will Smith slap and snap, because he definitely snapped that night.
Oh, he snapped.
Yeah.
He was like smiling and laughing 5 seconds before, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's on stage smacking the crap out of Chris Rock. What a bizarre scenario.
And we know in no way does the What We Meant to Say podcast condone violence. But I think even Chris Rock will tell you, he was super famous beforehand, but he's been really popular ever since. Like, he said, a lot of his comedy shows and different things like that have been selling out and have been doing really well. So maybe it worked out for both of them. Will Smith got a little anger out of himself, and Chris Rock, I guess, somehow, some way, his career got even better, maybe.
Yeah, there's a silver lining for Chris Rock in that situation. Yeah, he had to take one for the team.
And he dropped, I can't remember the line, but the line he said right after he got smacked, pure comedy. The comedian and him just kept on going, got smacked, and then said something right back. There we go.
Just kept rolling with it. Yeah, good deal. All right, what happened in May other than me turning 40?
Oh, congratulations. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Going back to space again, because this was a year of space, I guess. 2022 was. Scientists finally captured an image of the Milky Way's black hole. So, Jake, do you think there are other life forms in our galaxy or the Milky Way or whatever? Do you think there's another What We Meant to Say podcast out in space?
Yeah, I guess I do. I kind of do believe that there's life forms somewhere. Like, statistically, like, there's probably so many planets that we don't even know about. You know, they're way the heck out there. Chances are that there probably is another planet, but do we know them? Can we call them up and say, hello, want to come over and eat pizza and watch football? No, we can't. No. But I kind of lean towards that, yeah, there is probably some life form somewhere. Yeah. Is there another What We Meant to Say podcast? No, this is the one and only.
We are the original. We are the original. Yeah, we're the only. I do think there probably is life form somewhere, but like, we think like they're going to be like green or they're going to look like us. I'm guessing it's going to be something completely mind-blowing that we have no idea of. Like, I don't know. It could be like lizards or something like that. And they're just like, hey, what's up? And we're like, what the heck's going on here? There's got to be something else out there, especially if the galaxy or whatever this is, the universe, is infinite. There's got to be something else out there.
Wouldn't that be fun if we like met them someday and they're like giant lizards that wear funny hats and they all speak in Australian accents and they get off their ship? They're, hey, mate. What's she doing?
or they get off the ship and they, like, when the stairs come down, they trip and fall down and they go, oh, that was a long ride.
Oh, my legs. I don't have my land legs back yet.
Oh, God. I'm so jet lagged right now. I'm tired. Where can I get something to eat?
We've been flying for like 9 years.
and we're like, you speak English? Like, wow, this is crazy. All right.
Yep.
Jake, June of 2022, what happened? What do we need to know happened?
A jury awarded Johnny Depp $15 million against his ex-wife, Amber Heard. Now, I didn't follow that story very much at all. I don't really know what happened, but I know there were people on both sides of the argument that were for him and for her, and it just all seemed like a big fiasco, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't follow any of it, but for some reason, it's one of those stories that I think followed me, because it seemed to be like everywhere that I went on social media or whatever, websites, Google, whatever. So I just kind of felt like you couldn't avoid it. But I got to be honest with you. I have no idea what Amber Heard was in for a movie. I guess she's famous, but I've never heard of her. So that kind of took away some of the, appeal for it for me. I have no idea who she is.
The only enjoyment I got out of it was there's a pizza place in my neighborhood that I went to get a pizza for dinner one time, and they had two little tip jars right out front, and they had a picture of Johnny Depp on one and Amber Heard on the other, and one said Team Johnny, the other said Team Amber, and I got a chuckle out of that. Other than that, I know nothing about the story.
Who ended up winning the tip jar? Did they ever put out who they got voted in?
Oh, I'm not sure, but I think Johnny had quite a bit more money in there.
Good for Johnny.
So.
Yeah, good for him.
All right, what happened in July?
So just kind of a funny guy. Boris Johnson, the messy hair guy over there in England or UK or whatever they want to go by. He had to quit being the prime minister because he partied too much during COVID. So that was kind of July, 4th of July. We had Independence Day. But other than that, Boris Johnson quit as prime minister in England because he partied too much during COVID.
He's like, oh, I got to quit. I got to go down to the pub.
They called me throwing parties at my loft or whatever they call it. Too many of them during COVID. That he partied way too much. And I guess that's not allowed in England. They don't like you to party. So
they just had a little bit too much fun.
yeah. He had too many ales. God, what's the other term they use all the time in there? Pints. They don't call it glasses. They call it pints, over there. So poor guy.
Yeah. Let's see.
August. We're at August now, Jake.
August. Oh yeah, I forgot what month comes after July. August.
Yeah, we all want to forget August.
Right. A 1952 Mickey Mantle baseball card sells for $12.6 million. Woo-wee! That is some expensive baseball memorabilia. That is crazy. I hope they got the stick of gum that comes with it.
I was just going to say, what would you do? I threw all my baseball cards always in shoe boxes. What would you do if Jake came across his old shoebox of baseball cards and he just so happened to open it up and there's a 1950 any card? Let's say a card worth $100,000. Like, would you just sit there and go, it's a piece of cardboard and it's worth $100,000? Good for me today? Or would you I don't know, would you collect it? Would you keep it? What would you do?
Oh, I'd sell it. I got to buy a bunch of guitars, baby.
Get rid of it. You want to buy this piece of cardboard for $12.6 million? Here you go, buddy. Make sure check cashes.
I don't want that crap.
I'm too worried I'm going to put it in my bicycle and make motor noises or whatever. I think it's a motorcycle.
Oh, I bet that would sound sweet, though. $12.6 million in the spokes of a bicycle tire.
Can you imagine $1 bills, putting those 12.6 million of them in your spokes of your bicycle, just driving around the neighborhood? The noises that would be made.
Waving your hands.
Yeah.
Doing fist pumps.
Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah. All right.
We got 4 months left. 4 months left.
What comes after August? September. What happened in September?
Well, we went ahead and we listed two things because we think it's that important. One is a sports item, and the other one is a crown item. And the sports one is Serena Williams plays her final match as a professional tennis player. And the other one is Queen Elizabeth II dies.
Yeah.
So, Jake, which one would you like to touch on first?
The Queen, I think. It was just so cool. She had such a long reign as Queen. Was it the longest in history? Probably.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a cool, long life. That was really, really, really unique. So, yeah, it was sad. I was sad to see that.
Yeah. And I'll admit, I am a fan of the TV series or Netflix series, The Crown, which is very closely related. The plot is to what she did in her life. Supposedly it's not 100%, but you find out a lot about her and the family, and it's a really good TV series to watch. I'd suggest it. You learn a lot from it. Now on Serena Williams, she is also the GOAT. Let's just be honest. She might be the greatest male or female tennis player of all time. She is awesome at it.
Hands down. Bad bleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's so cool. She's so dominant, just amazing.
And she had all those endorsements and she did awesome commercials. A good movie about her life that was came through Warner Brothers here with Will Smith as the lead actor, and I can't remember the name of it right now. The King, if I remember correctly, is what they called it. And it's pretty cool. And she had a sister that was probably a top 10 all-time tennis player.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we all knew who
Frost.
Venus. We all knew Venus Williams before we knew Serena Williams. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Awesome.
got some good tennis skills in that family.
All right,
All right.
Jake. October. What do we got?
October. Aaron Judge. Does he play for the Yankees? Of the
You're
Yankees?
correct.
He broke Roger Maris's American League home run record. That's impressive.
And note, it's not the major league one because Barry Bonds still has that one. Whether it's legit or not, he still has that.
Yeah, he still does. I don't know how I feel about that. It's still too soon. It's too soon to talk about that.
Yeah. And then Aaron Judge signed a huge contract, not in October, in December, which we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We're not calling out December's greatest moment. But yeah, he's making major bank now. Major bank.
Yeah. Speaking of lots of money, the big thing in November was someone won a $1.9 billion jackpot. Was it like just like a lottery ticket type thing, like Powerball or something like that?
Powerball, if I remember correctly. Yeah. 1.9 billion.
Powerball.
Yeah, and it was in California, I think. They won it. So, all right, Jake, you just won $1.9 billion. Now we'll take away tax. So we'll just, for fun, cut it in half and say you won $950 million. What's the first thing you're going to do?
Pay off all my bills, take care of my family.
The first thing, Jake, you just won $950 million straight cash.
I am going to get myself an orange tuxedo and I'm going to lay in a bed and I'm going to blow my nose with $100 bills, just like in Dumb and Dumber.
I like it. That's creative. I'm going to get a private jet. I don't know how big I'd have to get, but I'm going to go and I'm just going to fly around. I'm going to start picking up friends and maybe some relatives. You never know. Pick them up. And I'm just going to walk into like where they work or their house or something like that. And I'll be like, you have 1 hour. I'm going to Vegas. I'm paying for everything. And I'm giving you $100,000 spending money. You have 1 hour to accept. You have to quit your job or take vacation right now. We're leaving and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
This message will self-destruct in 30 seconds.
Pretty much just to see how people react. Just because it'd be fun to just walk in and say, no, you have 1 hour to decide the biggest decision in your life, potentially. Okay, sounds good.
I think most people would be like, okay, well, I'm taking 5,000 of that to spend in Vegas. And then the other 95,000, I'm taking like a year or two off from work.
Mm-hmm. And that's the whole point. I want you to make that decision. So that's what would happen.
I'm in. I'm doing it. Let's go. All right.
Okay, we just need to buy lottery tickets.
Oh, yeah. I forget. I never do that.
I don't do that. So we just need to start doing that. But all right, what do you got for December of 2022? Because we're still recording as of right now in December of 2022. So you're going to you have a limited number of days you can choose from.
Yeah, right. We kind of touched on this already, but the World Cup, that's the biggest thing for me. I've been just glued to that competition. I know not everyone is, but man, it's been fun. I really like it. It's just a great way to relax, get up at 5 a.m. to see Croatia play Morocco kind of thing. Yeah. It's been really fun.
And this is the first time that the World Cup, the People's Cup, has been played in the winter season for the Northern Hemisphere, right? It's normally played in the summer.
It's normally played in the summer. Yeah, it's been in Qatar. And so it's just blazing hot there in the summertime. So they had to do it in the winter months to make it a little bit cooler. And another interesting fact is that they're now in the semifinals, the final four teams, as of today when we record. And Morocco made the final four. They're kind of the Cinderella story of the tournament. And they are the first team from the continent of Africa to ever make it to the final four of the World Cup. So that is very cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess we hopefully gave everyone something to fondly remember 2022 by in our 2022 year in review episode, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, lots of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you have any other events or items that you thought should have been included, they can reach us at our Facebook page. They can always bring up something.
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know what we missed. I'm sure we missed plenty of stuff. Tons of stuff happened this year. We just picked out a few little ones to hopefully make you laugh a little bit. So,
fun ones.
Yeah, fun ones for sure. All right. Well, we will be back again soon with a fun new topic. But until then, have a safe, happy week, and we'll check you later. Bye.
Bye.